How y'all doing? What's today? Monday. I'm trying to get myself together over here on all the platforms. Hello, hello. Hey, Dr. Tiffany. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Jakia. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Hey, Lalana. Happy Monday. How y'all doing? It is Move to Millions Monday, and I am so excited. Today, y'all, we are going to talk about the fastest way to make the move to millions. So if you know somebody that I don't know, that I should know, that should be here, invite them right now. Y'all know how to do it on your platform, right? So if you're on Facebook, you know what to do. If you're on Clubhouse, hit that little plus sign. If you're on Instagram, share it, share it, share it. Listen, as we get started today, this conversation is powered by the Profit from Live Events training. So I am on Thursday, December the 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am hosting Profit from Live Events. Can I just tell y'all? Okay, I'm just going to go on and let the cat out of the bag. That is the fastest way to move to millions. I'm going to tell you my story. I'm going to share some information with you. But more than anything, I want you to stop what you are doing right now, except for keep listening to me. And I want you to go right now to incrediblefactorevents.com, incrediblefactorevents.com. Thursday, 4 p.m., I am hipping you to the game. So let me tell you guys, first, let me tell you a little bit about myself, and then we'll jump into how I got into this live events game, which I now know to be the fastest way to make the move to millions. So I am Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the CEO of Incredible One Enterprises. I work with six-figure service-based entrepreneurs, and I help them to make the move to $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. We believe that you don't have to choose, that you can love God and you can make boatloads of money at the same time. Can I just get a quick amen? If you're in a position right now to just let me hear you, and that you too believe you don't have to choose, that you can love God and you can make boatloads of money. I just want to know I'm talking to some people that realize that they are sitting in their wealthy place and they can bring that wealthy place into their true life experience and maximize it in every single way. So I have been holding live events since 2009. That was before I knew them as live events, right? So I held my very first event. 250 people. I was right on the heels of my Mary Kay Cosmetics success. So some of you may know this about me, but I'm about to tell everybody now. I was a Mary Kay independent sales director. I was a pink Cadillac executive sales director. That means I had the pink car. Yup, I actually earned 2 of them. And I had 5 women that are also offspring in my unit to build their own unit. I was on a trajectory to become a national sales director in Mary Kay Cosmetics. I was literally on the way. And then God kind of tapped me on my shoulder and was like, excuse me, ma'am, this is not what I called you to do. I called you to use words to help people change their lives forever. And I was like, oh, my bad. My bad, God. Let me get myself together. And I decided to start Incredible One Enterprises. So I started the company in late 2007. And then 2008 was like the wackest, craziest year ever. We filed bankruptcy. I ended up going back to work. I was eating ramen noodles and peanut butter and jelly and almost lived in my car. That all happened in 2008. It was a terrible, terrible year. 2009, however, I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold an event. So I wrote a book. My very first book is called If You Understood My Past, You Would Understand My Praise. It's a really good book. Probably got a whole bunch of typos in there, but that's okay. The typos are free, okay? And so I wrote my first book, and I decided that I was going to use these words to change the lives of other people. I decided to hold my own event. It was an empowerment event, breakfast. I think it was over breakfast. 250 people, $25 a ticket. We filled the room. I wowed them. I inspired them. They cried. We did all the things for a couple of hours. And when it was all said and done, I made about $400. And I was like, there is no way in the world that I can do this. I cannot use words to transform the lives of other people because this is going to keep me broke, right? And so after I finished that event, I was like, I'm never doing another live event. I do that all the time. I get really drastic. But I was like, I'm never doing another event until I figure out how to do them correctly. So the rest of 2009, all of 2010, I attended live events. I got on planes, trains, and automobiles. And I went to live events, lots of different people's events. And I was going not only to be a participant and to learn whatever they were teaching, but more importantly, to see what was happening behind the scenes, to get a handle on how they were doing these events and getting people to enroll in their programs. Because I didn't know what I didn't know. But what I didn't know was the reason why I left that very first event with only $400. And I said, never again. So at the end of, or in 2010, as I've attended all of these events now, I started to put together what is today become the Leverage and Scale Enrollments event framework, because I figured out what it would take to produce an event that would generate a good amount of money. And then I tested my theory, because what I want you to know about me is that I never put anything out into the marketplace until I'm 100% confident that whatever I'm putting out will actually work and get results for other people. I am my guinea pig. I try it first, because then that way I can course correct and I can determine what we need to modify in order to be able to make this thing work. And so then I held my first event in 2011. April of 2011, I held an event. We had 28 people there. The tickets were nope, I'm lying. No, I'm lying, y'all. That's not. Held my first event in January of 2011. This isn't even on my chart. January of 2011, had an event. Tickets were $997, $1,000. I had 10 seats. So that meant on the front end of the event, I made $10,000. I did the event in a boardroom that I rented for $250. It was a one-day event. $997 a ticket, 10 people in the room, $10,000 on the front end. At the end of that event, I offered those 10 people the opportunity to come into my $6,000 program. This was 2011, y'all, January 2011. My $6,000 program. And of the 10 people, 4 people signed up. So 4 times 6 is 24, plus the $10,000 I made on the front end was $34,000. I made $34,000 in one day. I realized something powerful of going through this one-day event. I was like, you know what? I think if I made this a 2-day event, I would have more time to be able to improve my percentage, right? Because 40% is not bad. Most people are not enrolling 40% of their room, but I knew that I could do better. So fast forward to April of 2011, we had a 2-day event called Speak the Incredible. Some of you may know this story. We held this event at the Howard Johnson. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, y'all. I had an event at the Hojo. I did. Let me tell you, I went to speak at this event, and it was called the Winter Summit. Deborah Hardnett. Shout out to Deborah Hardnett if she's out there. And I sold people the opportunity to come to this 2-day event. The tickets were $497, I think. I think they were $500. They were $497. I sold 17 seats to this event and didn't have a venue. One thing that I want you to know about me is that I will put something out there, and then if it sticks, I will fulfill it. And so that's what happened with this event. I literally put out there that I was going to be hosting a 2-day event called Speak the Incredible. I was going to be showing people how to leverage the power of speaking to get sales, to do their back in the room sales, and to get people to enroll in their programs. I had, of the people at that event, I think I said 13 people. I sold 17 tickets. Let me tell y'all what happened. So in the back of the room, I said, for the first 10 people, I have X. I don't remember what it was. Y'all, they were back there fighting. Everybody was like, no, I'm in the top 10. So I ended up giving everybody it. So 17 people from this one event signed up. So 17 times 500, whatever that comes out to, that was some front end money. And then I had about 3 weeks until the event happened. I sold another 10 or 11 tickets because we ended up having 28 people in the room. So 28 people in the room at about $500, whatever that comes out to. I sold a $10,000 program at this event. And of those 28 people, I ended up having 8 people enroll in my $10,000 program. So now I went from my first event, $34,000, to this event, $80,000 plus whatever 28 times $500 was. So $14,000 plus $80,000. So I did almost $100,000, $94,000 in 2 days. This was in April. So then guess what I did, y'all? I was like, okay, 2 days works well, but I bet if I make this a 3-day event, I can enroll more and make more money. So in July, these are 3 months in between each event. In July, I held Own Your Incredible Factor, my 3-day event, and it was on personal branding and confidence and mindset. It has morphed in what will now be, well, to a certain extent, what will now be considered Move to Millions, which is our new live event. Save the date, May 25th through 27, 2022. Save the date right now for Move to Millions. Trust and believe. You absolutely, unequivocally want to be there. Like, it's not even an option. It's not even a game. If you have millions on your mind, you need to join us at Move to Millions 2022. Okay? So back to the story. July 2011, 30 people in the room. Now the tickets are $1,000, y'all. I'm learning and I'm cooking with gas, right? So I made $30,000 on the front end of the event. 30 people in the room. 10 people enrolled in my $15,000 program. $150,000 plus $180,000. This is 3 events in a row in 1 year. And at this point, we've generated about $300,000 from live events. I am onto it. The 3-day formula is the magic pill, y'all. It is what made the difference. So now I'm stopping, right? 3 days. So our event's 3 days. Turn right around. And guess what? 3 months later, November, we do another event. I forget what that event was. I can't remember, but we did another event. I was still trying to figure out what my signature event was going to be. So I was teaching at these events on all the things that I know about teaching on. So we did an event that November. Did we? Hold on. No, that's not true. So July of 2011 was the last event. Fast forward to April of 2012, we had 68 people at the event. Tickets were $1,000, 68 people at $1,000. How much is that up front? $68K up front. Now I had 2 programs. I had a $10,000 lower end program, which we sold for $8,000 at the event. And then I had a $20,000 high end program, which we sold at $18,000 at the event. So people could sign up for $8,000 or $18,000, right? So I had 2 different offers. The $8,000 program was a group offer. The $18,000 program was a private offer. 68 people in the room. Some of you have heard this story before, but I'm going to tell it again because it is such a powerful story. Day 2, I make my offer. We had about 8 people sign up. So 8 out of 68 is not very much. Let me tell you the percentage. 11%, 12% conversion. That is not anything to sneeze about. When you join me on Thursday for my free training that I'm doing to introduce you to my Leverage and Scale enrollment events, of course, I'm going to talk to you about the fact that by the end of day 2, you want to be at least 20% conversion from your event, right? We were only at 12%, 11.76%. The next day, day 3, we come back from the break. I come into the room. One of the attendees hands me a thank you card, one of those little 4x5 cards. I open the card. It's got my favorite scripture in it. Absolute favorite scripture. 1 Corinthians 15:58, in case you're wondering. That scripture says, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, for as much as you know your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Right? And so I'm reading the scripture. I'm reading her note. She said, I changed her life in 3 days. I am overcome with emotion. Now, normally I leave my live event and I go home, and at the end of the 3 days, I have a really good cry. It's like Brian McKnight, one last cry. I just cry and cry and cry. Nah, that didn't happen this time. This time I'm having my one last cry at the event, and it's the ugly cry. And people are starting to come back into the room. And someone calls my name as they come back into the room, and I lift my head up and they see my makeup running all over my face. And they're like, they're panicked because they think I'm hurt or something. I try to get to my feet. I can't even talk. My throat. You know how when you're crying a lot, you've got like snot and all of those things messing up with your voice cavity, right? And so I'm trying to talk and I need to blow my nose and all of this is going on. I stand up and I say to the people, I had no idea that I could do this in a 3-day event. And then I tell these people, now today I talk about my bankruptcy like it's no big deal. I tell these people that I filed bankruptcy, and that used to be my secret shame, and that if I could do it, they could do it too. Although none of this was done for this purpose, something amazing happened, y'all. That 8 people who had signed up turned into 38 people. We went from 8 people who enrolled to 38 people who enrolled in our events. Again, we had an $8,000 offer and an $18,000 offer. 38 people signed up at one time to work with us, right? I'm gonna do the math. So again, we had 68 people. So we had 68,000 on the front end. I don't remember the numbers, but let's say 25 of those people did the $8,000 program. That's $200,000. And then let's say the other 8 people did the $18,000 program. So that was, I'm just going to do that math for us. Plus $200,000 plus $68,000 on the front end. That is I'm sorry, y'all messed up. Hold on, let me do it again. So it was 200,000 plus 4,000 plus 68,000. $412,000, y'all. I made $412,000 in 3 days. This was 2012. Can y'all believe it? Can you believe it? This is how I knew that it was possible to make multiple 6 figures from doing a 3-day event. Fast forward to now, every time we host an event, we do at least $1 million, a 3-day event, at least $1 million. Since 2014. 2014 was the very first time we did $1 million in 3 days. And we have repeated that every time. Even last year, 2022, we did a hybrid event because of COVID-19. We still did $1 million when it was all said and done. From our virtual half-day events, we now do those too. You may have participated in a Plan for Millions event. We typically do at least $250,000. I'm here to tell you the fastest way to make the move to millions is through live events. So I want you guys, if you haven't done so already, you can go to IncredibleFactorEvents.com. IncredibleFactorEvents.com. If you're on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio. If you're on Facebook, in our Facebook group, there's a post in there that's got the link for you to go register for the training. Here's the other thing I need y'all to know. I don't do free trainings, y'all. I do not give the keys to the castle. I do not lay out my framework for free. You know why? Because I don't have to. I don't have to. Our content is so good. People get so much value off of the free stuff that I can charge for it. But I'm doing it for free. This is a big part of my give back. So I made the choice as a company. We did not make a Black Friday sale. We did not offer you to go get our planner because we don't discount either. That's the other thing. I'm either going to give it to you for free or I'm going to charge you what it costs. That's just kind of how we roll. And so instead of discounting and trying to compete with all of the noise that was happening, and I'm sure some of you got some really great deals, I personally don't believe in discounting my incredible factor. That's just me. And so instead, we decided to offer you access to this training for free. Now, full transparency, this training is a preview training. But my preview is better than most people's paid trainings because I operate from a space of abundance. And there's no such thing as I give you all. I'm like Anita Baker. I might give you the best that I got in any moment, but it is not all that I got. And so we're doing this free training to show you how you can leverage the power of live events to make more in 3 days or less than most people make in a year. Now, the statistics around small business say this, that 10.35% every single year actually do more than 6 figures in gross receipts. That means that 89.19% do not. So you have an unprecedented opportunity to join me for this free training where I'm going to break the framework down to you and give you an opportunity because it's a preview for my brand new course, Leverage and Scale Enrollment Events. The course that I created that literally is showing you exactly what we have done over the last 10 years to generate nearly $15 million from live events. Listen to me. If you've ever done a live event, raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse or put a 1 in the chat if you're on Facebook or on Instagram. If you've ever done a live event. And if your live event, you know that your live event could have been more successful, I'm here to tell you exactly what we have been doing, which we have been teaching. The first time we taught this training was in 2017. We did it in 2017, 2018, 2019. We did it 3 times as a live event on how to do live events. And then we decided to turn it into a course. And the reason we are launching this course now is because I know many of you are planning to do a live event in 2022. If you're going to do a live event in 2022, don't you think you should profit from it? Like, well, what would be the point of holding a live event and not knowing that you know that everything that's involved in making that event be uber successful, you have access to it. So I'm inviting you to join me on Thursday, December the 2nd, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my preview training. I'm going to walk you through the 7 keys that are the key to you actually being able to make more in 3 days or less than most make in a year. And I say 3 days or less because we used to only focus on a 3-day event model, a live event. And live events are great. They're coming back. Now, there's a way to do a live event while maintaining all of the safety protocols. You don't have to put people in jeopardy to still get them in a space to be able to help them to go to the next level, right? You can totally do that. We are hosting a live event in 2022. We're actually going on tour. We're going to do a 5-city tour in early 2022, preemptive to our live event. But we also now know, because of COVID-19, that you can do a virtual half-day event and generate multiple 6 figures. Guess what? Both of them are included in my course. And in the preview training that I'm doing on Thursday, I'm going to walk you through the numbers and the things you have to put in place to leverage either of those to be able to make more in 3 days or less than most make in a year. All you need to do is to go to incrediblefactorevents.com, incrediblefactorevents.com, incrediblefactorevents.com. This is what I know. It's the fastest way to make the move to millions. That's what we did. Some of you have heard this story before. 2013, we held a live event. Down in the DC area, we had about 78 people in the room. We did over $500,000, almost $600,000 in sales. The following April, we did a live event, 265 people in attendance. We more than tripled our registration in 1 year without doing anything other than taking a bold stand for God. We held that event. And in 3 days, y'all, $1.3 million cleared the bank. Have you ever had a whole bunch of money go into your bank account at one time? Have you ever had the bank people calling you, the merchant account people asking you to prove that you have agreements that say you can have that amount of money come through your bank accounts? Yeah, we've been through all of that because we've gotten to the point where we can now make more than most people make in a year in just a few days. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. The course, this is, again, a preview to my course, Leverage and Scale Enrollment Event. So I want to be fully transparent with you that we're going to talk to you about the framework and we're going to invite you to enroll in the course. The course is designed to teach you soup to nuts. There is no other course like this on the market. No one is teaching you everything that you need to know. Like I literally last week, guys, just before Thanksgiving, I spent Wednesday creating an additional, how many was it, Shanika? 5 additional modules for this course that already had 6 parts and 30 modules in it. It's more than 20,000 hours worth of content, all of the templates and the scripts and the checklists and the email sequences. Everything you need to replicate the system that we've perfected to generate $15 million in 10 years. That's why I'm inviting you to the preview call. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to look and to listen, but what you hear could change your life, especially if you decide to take the next step and enroll in the course, right? But it's just amazing what will happen if you learn how to leverage and scale enrollment events, because you could make millions of dollars in 3 days. Okay, this is what I want y'all to do. If you're here with me, those of you who are on Clubhouse, I know it's always a little bit more challenging for you guys to participate, but you can DM me in the back channel. Here's what I want you to send me. I want you to send me a message. I want you to type me a message, whether you're watching this live or those of you who will listen back to this in the replay. Tell me. I want you to put in the chat or in the back channels for those of you who are on Clubhouse the difference it would make if you did an event and 3 days later you had $1 million in cash that came into your life experience because of who you are in your business, because of how you wowed and transformed and served and supported your event attendees. Because those are all of the things that I'm going to introduce you to on our training on Thursday, and then invite you to experience when you enroll in the course. Like, what kind of a difference would that make? Like, I'm really surprised that I don't see any comments yet. Like, can y'all not even fathom? Well, here's what I know. You got to see it before you see it if you desire to experience it. So if you're not able to get yourself there, then you will potentially talk yourself out being able to make that kind of money in a very short period of time. I have always believed that as entrepreneurs, we literally have a printing press out back. That means at the moment that we so decide, we can create money. Money is literally just an energy, and you can create it whenever you want. Did you realize that? Did you know that you should never, ever, ever in your life say you can't afford it? Did y'all realize that? Anybody realize that? Anybody? Can I get a something from anybody? Did anybody realize that? You have the power and the capacity at any point in time that you decide to generate money into your life experience. There should never be anything that you say you can't afford. That should never, ever come out of your mouth ever, ever, ever again. And I think that there are lots of ways to make millions. I think that there are lots of ways. I don't hold the monopoly on the only way to make millions of dollars, but I will tell you, I believe this is the fastest way because I've done it. I watch my clients do it. Millions of dollars in 3 days or less. Like, that is what's at stake. So again, if you're just joining us, let me do a quick reset all the way around on all the platforms. Hello, welcome. I'm so excited that you are here joining us for Move to Millions Monday. I am your host, Dr. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon, the CEO of Incredible One Enterprises. We work with six-figure service-based entrepreneurs, and we help them make the move to $1 million CEO with grace and ease instead of hustle and grind. And today we are talking about the fastest way to make the move to millions. I have been in business for 14 years. I have been successful in business for 11, almost 11. The top of the year, it'll be 11. Because the first 3 years, we don't really count those years. Those were the bankruptcy and get a job years. So we don't really count them very much. But for the last 10 years, we have been cooking with gas. And you know why? Because we have been leveraging the power of enrollment events. I'm not talking about having a conference where you have a whole bunch of different speakers that just talk to anybody about anything. I'm talking about a very strategic occurrence where you set and decide to transform the life of your attendees by serving and supporting them in every possible way. That's what we will help you to create in a virtual environment, in a hybrid environment, or in a live environment. Any of those ways, when done right, could produce $1 million for you, or it could supplement your business model like it has for many of our clients. We have maybe 5 clients this year who have supplemented their business with a live event to produce $1 million. So it could go either way. But the bottom line is this, like, short of Oprah calling and you getting on Super Soul Sunday, like, this is the fastest way to be able to make that kind of money. It's just amazing and powerful what can happen when you decide to show up fully. And that's what live events help you to do. They help you to show up fully. So I'm excited about our preview training, Profit from Live Events, 7 keys to make more. 7 keys to make more in 3 days or less than 90% make all year. That's what I'm going to be breaking down to you. If you go to Incredible Factor Events, or you can go to Darnyelle on Clubhouse, or you can go to Get to Know Darnyelle. The bottom line is we got many places and many ways for you to get access to that registration form. It's free. I cannot tell you the next time that I'm going to be doing a training of this magnitude and content for free. It's my gift to you. Because we've had an amazing year and I love live events. And now that they are coming back, with safety procedures and precautions, right? We even talk about that in the course. We go through and give you samples of all of the health directives and things that you're going to need to do in order to be able to have an event and have people. You're going to need to pay attention to your local guidelines and what your state says about how many people can gather. But guess what? Even if you only bring 30 people together, you can make multiple six figures from 30 people. We did an event in September. It was our half-day virtual event, Plan for Millions. We had 130 people maybe register. Of those 130 people who registered, 28 of them applied for our VIP training. 28, so not even 30. Of those 28 who applied, we approved 17 of them. Of those 17 that were approved, 12 of them enrolled in our program. We generated $250,000 in a 5-hour virtual event. Listen, y'all, like, can someone tell me, raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse and you can tell me where people are making that kind of money. Can you tell me that? Like, live events, they're the fastest way to make the move to millions. And I want to help you make the move to millions. That is my mission. That is my mantle. That is my mandate. I am on a direct assignment from God to move more entrepreneurs to the $1 million mark. I believe that you don't have to choose. You can love God and make boatloads of money. I believe that if you didn't come from millions, millions ought to come from you. I believe you were born to move millions. That's what I believe. And I believe that live events is the absolute best, most unequivocal way to be able to make that happen. And I'm offering you an unprecedented opportunity to join me. So one last time, I'm going to open up the line so we can hear from my team who is here with me on Clubhouse. And then we're going to take a couple of questions if there are questions. But if you haven't already gone to grab your free seat for Profit from Live Events on Thursday, December the 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm just going to assume that you've decided that you don't want to make boatloads of money in your business in the fastest way possible. And that's totally okay. Like, I don't have a problem with it if you don't have a problem with it. But if you know you're going to do events, you want to gather people together, or you have and you've lost your shirt because you had a food and beverage minimum, or you didn't realize that you booked too many speakers, and as a result, people were trying to eat off of too many plates, and you want to do it right the next time, I'm going to show you the right way to do it. I'm going to literally break down the 4 phases of the process for you to be able to leverage the power of an enrollment event to make more in 3 days than most people make in a year. IncredibleFactorEvents.com, IncredibleFactorEvents.com. All right, so we're going to open up the line. So if you have a question, if you are on Instagram or Facebook, you can put question, colon, and then your question so that my team can catch it. On Instagram, we do have the question box, so you can definitely put the question in the question box if you'd like. And on Clubhouse, if you have a question, raise your hand. We do have a few people here with us in the room on Clubhouse. We're excited you guys are here. So I would love to be able to take some questions. While we're doing that, let's hear from the team. Zora, anything you want to share with the people?
Yes, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Where's the speaker? Hold on, Zora. Let me turn the speaker on. Hold on, so everybody will be able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No, not yet. Hold on. It didn't connect. Hold on. Hold, please. Y'all, I'm just trying to make sure that y'all get to hear everything that it is that the beautiful Zora has to say. So I want to make sure that the speaker is on and everything is working well. This is our compromise of not getting off of Instagram and Facebook. So we used to shut both of those platforms down when it came time for this part of the agenda, but now we get to stay on all platforms because we have the speaker. Okay, Zora.
Okay, hello, Darnyelle. Can you hear me now?
I sure can.
Hi. It's so nice to be here with you. You know that I admire you very much. And here you are talking about your successes. And it's just so powerful when other people talk about it. And there are so many people inside our team that you and clients that you have served that have reached their goals because of you. You certainly have it figured out. I have a question for you, actually.
Okay.
What would you say to people who are kind of more on the introverted-ish spectrum regarding events?
That's a good question. So I think Okay, nobody's going to believe this. Y'all aren't going to believe me when I tell you this, but I am an introvert. I'm an introvert. I have a mission and a mantle, and I told God yes, and so I show up fully. But when I don't have to be on, I'm balled up in a corner somewhere. And so the question you have to ask yourself is, what's more important? That you be the impact you were created to be on the planet, or that you stay in your little cocoon and play small? You can make either choice. It's totally up to you. There were many years in my life where I was playing small, where I was being selfish, if I can be honest, because I think it is selfish to have this massive gift that's supposed to transform the lives of others and decide not to show up fully in that gift. Now, having said that, you don't have to do a live event. So you can, but it can also be small. You can do a workshop where you get people together. You can do it virtually. There are a lot of different ways to get the information that you have, the skill sets that you've brought to the table, the expertise that you've perfected into the hands of those who needed to solve their core problems, and to do it in a way that it serves and supports you, right? If you are an introvert, Zora, what I would tell anybody is that you might want to have an MC for your event that's an extrovert. We have MCs, right? I show up and shake it. I'm like the Beyonce. I show up and I shake it. I do my part and that's it. And the team does the rest. You surround yourself with the right people so that you, the expert that has the information to share, that's going to be the transformation for other people. That's what they get to experience. That's the best advice I would give to an introvert, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Zora, that introverts need money too. Introverts still got bills. Introverts. So if you're an introvert and you got bills and you want to be able to pay those bills in less time, then you might need to start doing some live events. So that's what I would share. That was a great question. Great question.
Thank you, Darnyelle.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else you want to add, Zora?
No, I'm grateful that you pulled yourself out of your shell. And what is it that you tell me all the time? You say, if God put the dream in you, it's because you're supposed to do it.
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
Like that. What is it that you tell me?
I think that's the gist of it. Like, the bottom line is this, like, it's not for me. I was saying that to Rashida. Shout out to our incredible One Enterprises operations manager. She's live and in the house here with us in Delaware these next 2 weeks. And we were talking about that this morning. Like, I believe that it would be selfish of me to sit on this gift because it makes me uncomfortable. It is not about me. It is about the lives that I was called to transform. And so therefore I get uncomfortable. I do what I have to do. I'm really big and extroverted for 3 days, and not even for 3 full days. Like, when the day is over, I literally go get in my cocoon. I have one of those, they had something similar on Shark Tank. You know how you can recreate the feeling of being in the womb, and you can put like this thing on that like hugs you really, really tight. It kind of swaddles you. I have a swaddle. That might be too much information. Y'all might not have needed to know me like that. But I come back into my shell, and I'm like, I'm grateful that I get to show up that big, but it really does go against everything that I would want. But I know it's not about me. It's not about Darnyelle. It's about all of these people, the people that I can see, Trisha and Robin and Dr. Vanelli and Marion and Carla and Valeria and Earl and Winnie and Siobhan and Darnyelle and Jakia and Tammy and Michelle and Shanice and Tamisha and Sean and Eva and Terry. It's about y'all. It ain't about me. And so I'm willing to be uncomfortable and compromise short term so that I can be the long-term impact that I'm supposed to be in the lives of others.
That's awesome, Darnyelle. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fred, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, that was a great question with the introvert and extrovert. Like, as an extrovert, I don't need preparation for anything to be able to go out there and mentally I'm fine with it. An introvert can be just as successful, if not more. They just need planning and preparation. Yeah. They need to have an idea, a concrete foundation of what exactly is going on to be able to go out there and be successful in their minds. They're confident doing that. So that all the more so for if you're an introvert to go to this free training. Looking at it from afar, you're saying, wow, this is a lot to handle. This is a big bite to chew off to put myself out there. But it doesn't look like that when you have it all mapped out and planned out. And as an extrovert seeing this, I mean, all the more power to you. You don't even have to worry about anything. You can just go off on whatever you want to go off on because you have all the foundations in place to support you doing that. So this type of free training is the perfect opportunity whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, because it builds the foundation of what you need to be successful.
Yeah, that's so good. I'm muted. You always help me to see things way differently, Fred, because I never would have thought of it that way. But the good news to your point is that because you get the plan, you get the run of show, you get all of the things and what you need to do when, it makes it easy for the person who isn't necessarily used to putting themselves out there in that way to get there. I think that's a really great point. All right. So we'd love to take a couple of questions if we have some. We have about 20 minutes if y'all have questions. If not, then we're going to return you to your day because, we appropriate an hour for this once a week. But if we have any questions, if you're here on Clubhouse, you can raise your hand and we'll invite you up to the stage. For those of you who are with us on Instagram and or on Facebook, please feel free to type question and then your question. We'd love to take some questions. I'm just saying hello to some of the people that are here. Same thing on Facebook. If you have a question, we'd love to take some questions. If you have not already grabbed your seat for our training on Thursday, our free training, go to incrediblefactorevents.com, incrediblefactorevents.com. Would love to see you. We've got nearly 300 people at this point registered to join us on Thursday. We'd love to have you be one of those people, which is really, really exciting. It's going to be so good. I've been working on the content. Oh, y'all, it's so good. Like, it's so good that I was like, oh, I need to figure out if I have enough time to do all of this, because I don't want to keep you on the training forever. So I was like, oh, I might have to take some of this stuff out, but it is good. I do not skimp. Like I said earlier, my free is going to be better than some of the things you paid for. That's how I roll. That's what I do. That's how it go. Like, that's just who we are and what it is that we bring to the table. All right. Looks like we got a hand raised. Oh, maybe not. I thought I saw a hand up. All right, Sean. All right, Sean, I'm going to bring you up to the stage so that we can take your question. All right, Sean, welcome to the stage. Tell us your question.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My question is that I haven't officially launched my e-courses, my book, my ministry. I haven't officially launched any of that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the background working on it.
Okay.
And so this is a free event that would help to position me and help me along the way and down the road as I approach that. Is that correct?
Sure. Like, especially if you intend to launch your book and your business with an event, which is a great way to do it, by the way. So you're going to get some practical tips and pointers that you can leverage right now to be able to have in your back pocket for when you're ready. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great question.
Okay. I really appreciate it because myself and my wife are both going to be launching something in 2022, early 2022. I never thought about it as launching it with an event though. But that's definitely something that I will definitely take before the Lord in prayer and kind of see what steps I could do to bring that about.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to launch it, you need to launch it with some type of an event anyway, whether it's a physical event or a virtual event. Like, I would never tell you to create something and just put it on a website. That's not a launch. No one's going to know about it. The way that you get people familiar with it or aware that it even exists is through the launching process. So you're going to have to do that no matter what. And you don't have to ask God that. Like, if he told you to do it, he wants you to put it out there, right? So what I would be doing is I would be writing that vision down and making it plain so that when that vision gets out there, the people who read it can run with it. That's what I would be doing. You know, a lot of times we're waiting on God, but God is waiting on us. He already gave you exactly what it is he wants for you to do, which is why you're working on it now. Get into action, right? He'll give you more while you're moving, Sean, than he ever will if you keep standing still. So this is a great way to really think through and come and get some ideas. If that feels good to you, come and get some ideas that you and your wife can leverage as you begin to bring your books and your businesses and your ministries to the forefront, because you're going to have to tell people about it. And events is one of the best ways to launch, because people will always and forever want to galvanize. They'll always want to come together because we need community. When we think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the highest need of every single person is to belong. What better way to fuel the need to belong through community effort, power of proximity, and bringing people together. So it's going to be a great way. And I mean, we can go ahead and throw Matthew 18 in there about whenever two or more are gathered, also there he is in the midst. So it's a great way also to be able to start the Holy Spirit and to create true transformation in whatever it is that you are creating. So I wish you and your wife the best. And if it sounds good, if it feels good to you right now, then go ahead and grab that ticket. It won't cost you anything, right? But it could absolutely change your life and change the trajectory of everything you're putting together as you look to launch. I saw a couple of questions over here on the Instagram side. It seems like people spend money to make money, but will live events be that profitable when selling services related to relationship or anything else it related to helping people make money? Yeah. People, there are, and I'm going to talk about this in the training, Lovers Bond. I'm going to talk about this in the training. There are actually 6 categories of reasons why people will make an investment. Money is actually only one of them. Love, communication, and relationships is another one. So if you come to the training, you'll learn about the areas of problems you need to be solving if you want people to be able to make an investment, if you want to make sure you're getting in front of people who will spend money to get the results that they seek. But absolutely, that is one of the reasons why people will invest to get the support. I mean, I don't know about you, and I don't know if you're married or if you're in a relationship that you want to salvage, but I know, like, for me, I will do whatever I need to do to make sure that my husband and I are in a happy, healthy marriage. I will spend whatever amount of money I need to spend to make sure that that's the environment we live in, because I believe life is too short, and I'm not about to settle, and I'm not going to be miserable either. So I'm going to be willing to invest anything that I need to have that. And I know I'm not the only one. If I'm not the only one, and you're either on any of the platforms, put a 2 in the chat if I'm not the only one who feels that way about relationships, so we can give Lovers Bond some understanding and appreciation that what it is that she endeavors to do, other people are going to want it as well. All right, Robin, I am inviting you up to the stage, my dear. And while you're coming up, I saw another question in the chat. Is 6 months still suggested for marketing, especially international events? So what I say as a general rule of thumb, Dr. Lornica, is at least 3 months, plus for every additional 25 attendees you want, an additional month. But at least 3 months. So it depends. If it's international and everybody's going to be traveling internationally, you definitely want to give more time. But if it's international to some people but local to others, then you may or may not need that more time, right? It depends. A lot of the marketing time isn't going to be spent with people actually buying tickets, believe it or not. It's about getting the awareness out there. Statistically, it takes up to 14 times for someone to see something before they'll take the action to invest. So if you're not marketing enough, you're not putting yourself out there enough, they won't see it enough to be able to make a decision that they should come to your event. Most buying decisions or investment decisions for events are made within a 2 to 4 week from the event perspective. Sometimes up to 8 weeks if travel is involved. But most people will make a decision closer to the event versus way out from the event. You'll get those early adopters that'll take advantage of the early bird pricing and get a ticket when it's first launching. But most people and all of our clients, we had 3 clients doing live events over these last couple of months. They were all like freaking out, like, no one's buying tickets to my event. Then 2 weeks, it was on like popcorn, like everybody was buying a ticket. And so the marketing time is really about getting the awareness and the consistency out there so that people know that your event exists to help them to make a decision, as opposed to people actively buying tickets from day one. Hopefully that helps you. Robin, welcome to the stage.
Hi, Darnyelle.
Hey,
everyone. Quick question. After your initial training on Thursday, when do you expect your course to launch?
Oh, girl, the course is launching on Thursday. By the end of the training, you will be able to invest in the course.
So what will the dates be as well?
Oh, it's not live. It's already been recorded. So the day that you enroll, the day the course starts for you.
Got it. Thank you.
You are welcome. No problem. Let's see. Do we have any other questions that popped up on here? See lots of people. Hello, hello, hello. We are talking about the fastest way to make the move to millions, and that is live events. If you are just joining us and you have not already grabbed your seat for my free training happening on Thursday, December the 2nd at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, stop what you're doing. Go right now to IncredibleFactorEvents.com. If you're on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio. And if you're on Facebook, there's a post in the Facebook group that you can click on. Go grab your seat if you are planning to do a live event. Regardless of what kind, there are 7 different types of profitable events. I'm going to talk about all of them during the training on Thursday. Regardless of which one you're doing, if you are planning to do an event and you want to maximize the experience so that you can also maximize your payday, you need to join me for this training so that you can be introduced to the framework that we have proven over the last 10 years and have generated $15 million from. I want to share that with you in this preview training to launch our new course, Leverage and Scale Enrollment Events. Do we have any more questions? I always get so excited. We're on all 3 platforms. That's why my eyes keep starting around. But always get excited to be able to share insight into what we've been doing. I believe that success leaves clues. And I think that once you've been blessed, it's your responsibility to reach back and to help other people get access to the information that can make a difference in their life. This training is free. There is no obligation for you to enroll in the course. You're going to want to, though, because the course is just juicy good. It'll change your whole life as you work through it and learn how to do it. So, any other questions? Any other questions? All right, I don't see any other questions, so we're going to call it a Move to Millions Monday. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will be back next Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Completely different topic, but fully committed to give you access to tools, keys, tips, and strategies that will help you make the move to millions. Until then, be better, be stronger, and more than anything, be incredible. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.